So, today we're going to talk about something fascinating. How does a business sell a memory? We're going to dive into a company called Sutra Events and see exactly how they turn a simple moment into an experience you'll never forget.
But before we get into all that, let me ask you something. What's the real difference between just an event and an experience? You've probably been to both. So what do you think really sets them apart?
Well, here's how they see it. An event, that's just a date on a calendar. But an experience, that is a memory that sticks with you forever. And Sutra Events, they've literally built their whole company around that single idea. Okay, so how do you even begin to build a business that, makes memories? It all starts with a core philosophy, right? Let's take a look at what makes them tick. And here it is. We plan and design events that capture the imagination. The key words there, capture the imagination. That tells you right away they're not just thinking about chairs and tables. They're trying to build a whole world for you to step into. And get this, they don't even call themselves planners. They're experience creators. Their whole game is about turning a moment into a magical memory. And they do it with three key things: creativity, elegance, and just flawless execution. All right, so that's the big idea. But what does that actually look like in practice? Let's check out the blueprint, the actual services they use to build these incredible experiences. So on the surface, they cover all the bases you'd expect: weddings, corporate gigs, custom decor, birthdays. But what's really smart here is the sheer range. It means they can bring that experience mindset to pretty much anything, from a super personal celebration to a buttoned-up corporate event. But, just listing those categories doesn't really tell the whole story. The magic, the thing that actually makes the memory, it's all in the details. So let's zoom in on something really specific they talk about: the traditional haldi ceremony. Okay, now listen to the language they use here. It's not just "we'll set up your haldi." No, it's immerse, vibrant hues, a golden memory. See what they're doing? They're selling a feeling, a full-on sensory experience, not just a service. That's how you paint a picture with words. And you see this emotional focus everywhere. For an engagement, it's about marking a beautiful beginning. For a baby shower, it's celebrating motherhood with charm. Every single milestone gets its own story, its own emotional blueprint. So you've got the big idea, and you've got the blueprint. But who actually makes it all happen? That's where the team comes in, the people they call the architects of the experience. And this is really telling. When they talk about their core strength, what do they point to? Not their inventory, not their prices. It's their team. That frames the whole thing as being driven by people, by passion and skill. And that team, they've got a system, a clear 4-step process. It all starts with conceptualization. That's the dream. Then comes design, which gives that dream a shape. After that, you've got the nitty-gritty logistics of coordination. And finally, the big moment: flawless execution. This whole structure is what creates the magic while making sure the client has zero stress. And the person leading this team is the proprietor, Abhishek KR. His job, as they put it, is to make sure those core values, expertise, innovation, personalization, show up in every single event. It puts a real face and a sense of accountability right at the top. Okay, so we've seen the philosophy, we've seen the services, and we've met the team. So what's the final piece of the puzzle? The result. What does this final masterpiece actually look like? Well, the result, as they frame it, isn't just a gallery of pretty photos. It's a portfolio of uniquely crafted, unforgettable moments. Each one is designed to be unique, to be crafted, to be unforgettable. It all ties right back to that mission of creating memories that last. And just take a look at some of these glimpses from their gallery. I mean, look at the variety. You've got these incredibly detailed traditional mandapa decorations, and then you've got a fun modern bachelorette party. It just shows they can nail any style or tone while still focusing on creating that perfect atmosphere. And of course, to get people to take that first step, to turn that dream into a reality, there's a practical little nudge: a 15% discount for first-time clients. It's a really clear call to action. So let's bring it all back to where we started, with this idea of a memory. After seeing how a company like this literally architects these experiences from the ground up, it kind of leaves you with one last question, doesn't it? If you could celebrate any moment in your life, what would it look like? What would it feel like? And really, that's what it's all about.